Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Chad here with another In the OT podcast for BetHubb Sports Blog.com. And today, Edmonton Oilers fans can rejoice as Steve Tambellini has decided to not renew the contract of head coach Tom Renney, which is set to expire on June 30th. And I think it's an absolutely fantastic decision, as something that I've been preaching for the last number of years is how overrated this guy has been throughout his tenure in the NHL as a head coach. And after the last year and a half, 2 years, he has proven that he's clearly not capable of taking these fine young men, this highly talented group of young prospects, to the next level and even come close to competing for a playoff spot, which is inexcusable with what they have going on there. And personally, if I was in Tambellini's shoes, I wouldn't even given him that second opportunity. Last year, I would have fired him after 1 year after they finished dead last in the league. And the reason why I don't have a lot of appreciation for what Tom Renney here is based on his body of work. I mean, everybody thought that this guy was some sort of phenom as a coach coming into the NHL because of what he had done at the World Junior level. That was supposed to be his calling card. Oh, he's great with working with all these young players. He can get the most out of them. He can press all the right buttons. And that's why he was going to be so appropriate for the Edmonton Oilers. Give me a break. Big deal. So he coached the World Juniors with Team Canada. They have the most talent every single year. If you don't win gold medal, it should be considered a failure. And guess what? He did it. He came in second place. He won a silver. They lost to Sweden in 1994 in Norway in that gold medal match when Peter Forsberg scored that ball and shootout winner to win the gold medal. So at least if you're going to go crazy about all the success he had at the World Junior level, the least he could have done was actually won the gold medal, something he never did. And then when he came into the NHL, he completely failed with the Vancouver Canucks. They never made the playoffs in 2 years. He got the quick oust there. And then when he went on to the New York Rangers, he coached there for 5 years, made the playoffs 3 times, but yet only won one playoff series. And if you go back throughout his entire coaching career in the NHL, he has only won one playoff series, and that is nothing to go crazy about when more than 50% of the league makes the playoffs, and he's been around since the mid-90s. And for whatever reason, he just wasn't capable of pressing the right buttons in terms of getting this team to respond defensively. I'm not going to put all the blame on him there because they definitely did not have a ton of great defensemen or goaltending. But when you look at some of the coaching decisions that was going on with even just the forwards, how was it that Gagner, with all the talent he has in the world, was a healthy scratcher playing on the fourth line, but has the offensive capabilities we saw last year with 8 points to be not being given more playing time? I just never understood it in the first place. I don't feel like he was getting the most out of these players, and they had to make the right decision and get rid of him because this guy, as far as I'm concerned, is just a retread. He's part of that old boys network. The only reason he was given this coaching job in the first place is because he's friends with Pat Quinn from back in the day when he was the general manager of the Canucks in the mid-90s, and when he was hired as a head coach in 2009, he was brought in as the associate. Well, we know that was just a plan to have him take over because Quinn stepped down a year later when the team struggled, and he was just comfortably put into position, and it was a farce from the get-go, and I think that Tambellini got completely fooled by that whole thing there with Quinn when he took over. And I'm just so sick and tired of all these old guys continuously getting jobs when there's so many young coaches with a nice, fresh outlook on the sport of hockey right now that have proven at this level in the league that they are very capable. We can go through a number of teams that have taken coaches from the AHL level or juniors, whether it's Peter DeBoer with the Devils now, or it's Dan Bilesma, or it's Bruce Boudreau, or it's Boucher, or it's Vigneault to some extent. I mean, there are plenty of coaches that never had a lot of success at the NHL or any success that have shown they can do it. But for whatever reason, these general managers are afraid to go out on a limb. They want to bring in the guy that's known. And that's why you always hear the same coaches thought about when they think of a new coach. The same crap going on with Montreal right now. Mark Crawford at the front of that list. He hasn't done anything in 8 years, but yet he's the number one candidate. It drives me nuts. And that's the same thinking that went down there in Edmonton. It cost them a couple of years. And now they finally have smartened up. So take a hike, Tom Renney. I'm sure it's just a matter of time before he gets back in the mix because of what he did in 1990 with the Kamloops Blazer and had a silver medal with the World Junior team. Who cares? That was 20 years ago. It's a completely different game at the junior level anyways. And he's proven that he's just not capable at the NHL level. And if I'm a general manager in this league, I want to have nothing to do with him. I can't wait to see the way this Edmonton Oilers team matures in the next couple of years because they have so much talent up front and they have some assets. They can move it if they want to get better on the back end or in net. And Renney, your time time is up. That's it. Chad here from BetHubbSportsBlog.com with the In the OT podcast. Completely agreeing with the firing of Tom